Have you ever wondered where light actually comes from? Not just the sun in our sky or the glowing screens in our pockets, but the fundamental raw essence of luminosity itself. Is it a gift from the heavens, a mere biological trick of our eyes? Or is it something far more profound, a hidden vibration within the very fabric of space and time? Today we are stepping beyond the veil of the visible world. We are embarking on a journey into the deep architecture of the cosmos to decode the ultimate symphony of the universe. Welcome to the masterclass of the masters. Imagine, if you will, a universe in total darkness. No stars, no radiation, no warmth, just a silent, static void. For centuries, humanity looked at the stars and saw magic. They saw the divine. But then came a shift in the human consciousness, a transition from myth to mathematics. We began to realize that the universe doesn't speak in riddles, it speaks in the language of equations. And at the heart of the most brilliant light show in existence, there is a set of 4 pillars, 4 laws that govern everything from the spark of a neuron to the birth of a galaxy. These are the Maxwell Equations. When you look at the "And God Said Maxwell T-shirt, you aren't just looking at a clever piece of apparel. You are looking at the Rosetta Stone of modern physics. You are wearing the very code that defines how our reality is rendered. The slogan, "And God said it, and then there was light," isn't just a play on ancient scripture. It is a bold statement about the power of human logic to uncover the fundamental truths of creation. It suggests that if there is a divine blueprint for the universe, James Clerk Maxwell was the one who finally learned how to read it. Let us break down the celestial mechanics behind these 4 equations. First, consider the divergence of the electric field. This is where it all starts. Imagine a single point in space, a proton or an electron. This equation tells us that electric charges act as the fountainheads or the sinks of the electric field. It describes how electricity flows outward from a source. It is the reason your heart beats and your phone charges. Without this first law, the universe would be a static, lifeless grid. Then we move to the second law, the divergence of the magnetic field being 0. This is perhaps the most elegant of them all. It tells us that there are no magnetic charges in isolation. You can never have a North Pole without a South Pole. In the vast sci-fi landscape of our universe, magnetism always moves in closed loops. It is a dance that never ends, a constant cycle of cycle of return. This law ensures the stability of the magnetic shields that protect our planet from the solar winds of the deep cosmos. But the real magic, the moment light is actually born, happens in the 3rd and 4th equations. This is where the interaction begins. Faraday's law tells us that a changing magnetic field creates an electric field. Think about that for a second. By simply moving a magnet, you create electricity. This is the principle behind every turbine and every generator on Earth. But Maxwell didn't stop there. He added the final piece of the puzzle, the Ampere-Maxwell law. He realized that the reverse is also true. A changing electric field creates a magnetic field. Now I want you to visualize this in a high-definition holographic simulation of space. A changing electric field generates a magnetic field. That magnetic field, because it is now changing, generates another electric field. This electric field then generates another magnetic field. They leapfrog over each other, sustaining one another in a never-ending chain reaction through the vacuum of space. This self-sustaining rhythmic pulse of energy is what we call an electromagnetic wave. And then came the eureka moment that changed history forever. When Maxwell calculated the speed at which these waves traveled, he found a number that was exactly equal to the measured speed of light. In that instant, the mystery of the ages was solved. Light was no longer a separate, mysterious entity. Light was revealed to be the visible manifestation of the electromagnetic dance. It was the music played by the instruments of electricity and magnetism. This realization is why we wear this shirt. It is a tribute to the triumph of the human mind over the unknown. To wear the Maxwell Equations is to celebrate the fact that we are a species capable of understanding the laws that the stars obey. It is a badge of honor for the thinkers, the dreamers, and the seekers of truth. When you put on this shirt, you are telling the world that you don't just see the light, you understand its origin. You appreciate the rigorous logic and the breathtaking symmetry that allows us to see the world around us. In a sci-fi future where we might one day sail between the stars using light sails or communicate across light years using quantum signals, these 4 equations will remain our primary navigation charts. They are the constants in an ever-changing universe. They represent the ultimate unification. Before Maxwell, electricity and magnetism were seen as 2 different forces. Maxwell proved they were 2 sides of the same coin. This was the first great unification in physics, setting the stage for Einstein and everything that followed. The And God Said Maxwell T-shirt is more than just science wear. It is a conversation starter for the intellectually curious. It is a way to find your tribe. The people who look at a rainbow and don't just see colors, but see the refraction and the wave-particle duality of photons. It is for the student who stays up late in the lab, the engineer who builds the future, and the philosopher who wonders about the nature of existence. As your instructor, I want you to look at the world differently from now on. Every time you see the sun rise, every time you turn on a flashlight, every time you look into the glowing eyes of a loved one, remember that you are witnessing the Maxwell equations in action. You are witnessing the perfect synchronized oscillation of fields that have traveled across the void to reach you. The universe is a vast, complex, and often intimidating place. But it is also a place governed by laws that we can grasp. By wearing this knowledge, you are asserting your place in the cosmos as an observer, a learner, and a master of logic. You are asserting that the light of the world isn't just something that happens to us. It is something we have finally learned to explain. So let the world know where you stand. Stand with the giants of science. Stand with the beauty of the electromagnetic spectrum. Wear the equations. Speak the language of the stars. Because once you understand the physics of light, you realize that the universe isn't just a place of random events. It is a masterpiece of design waiting for you to decode it. And God said, and then there was light. But it was Maxwell who showed us how.